So for my first essay, I have chosen to answer number 5, which is pick one of the course's case studies and explain why or why not the person in the story were immoral. So I'm choosing to do the Chris Watts murder case. I read this case in class and I discussed it with my peers, and I did my most recent discussion question answering it, so I think that I know the most about this story and can answer it the best. So Chris Watts murdered his family. He strangled his wife and he killed his 2 daughters. He suffocated them, and when he killed them, he buried his wife in a shallow grave, and he shoved both of his daughters into tanks, and he basically threw them away by his work like it was nothing. Not to mention, his wife was pregnant with their son, and she wasn't very far off from delivering. After he did this, he just went on his regular life. He went to work the next day like nothing happened. He continued to talk to his mistress, who he planned to kill his family so that he could be with his mistress. He got his family involved. He got his wife's family involved. He got the news involved, saying how he didn't know where his wife was, he didn't know what happened, and pretending to be torn up about it, when really he was just putting on a big face when really he killed them. Eventually his mistress saw this on TV and she told the police what happened, and Chris Watts felt no remorse. He didn't feel guilty whatsoever. And to me, this is a big example of a radical egotist, because I don't understand how you can do such a disgusting thing like that and pretend like it was okay, like it was, like he just went on his regular day. And I don't understand how he can kill his 2 innocent daughters, his innocent wife, his son that wasn't even born yet, and for no reason at all, when he could have took the moral route and just divorced his wife like anyone else would. But instead he took matters into his own hands when there was really no reason to, when there was a better route he could have taken, obviously. And how someone can do this to start with is mind-blowing. And I don't think you can argue whether you think it's moral or not. If you think this is moral, then something's wrong, because this is completely not moral. And some other things we talked about, like taking the Rab shuttle, or the Kanye West video, where you can say, were they immoral? Those are completely different type of thing that you can argue. The Rab shuttle, that's your decision. If you want to take it, you can. If you don't want to take it, that's completely up to you. And Kanye West, you can't argue whether you think he's moral or immoral, but I think that's on a completely different scale than the Chris Watts murder case, or even the Westboro Baptist Church. And same with Razor Ramon. That's definitely not on the same scale for arguing whether these people were moral or immoral. They don't even compare. So, you can definitely argue cases for those, but I don't think you can even try to argue that the Chris Watts murder case was moral. It definitely was immoral, and it's pretty obvious why. And he's definitely a radical egotist, and he doesn't care for anyone but himself. And he could have took the moral route, and he could have just done what anyone else would have and divorced his wife and done whatever he wanted, whatever he pleased after that. But instead, he had to take 4 innocent lives away just so he could get what he wanted.